Okay, so call the meeting to order at 7:02. And I would like to elevate Heidi to replace Jordan, who said she couldn't make it.
So moved.
Is there a second? Karen, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Heidi, welcome. Um, Item number 3, Matt is going to declare his abstention from voting.
I, Matthew Bussey, Park and Recreation Director, am abstaining from voting this evening.
Approval of the agenda. Is there any corrections or additions to the agenda?
I'd like to add just one item under item 8C, concert series payments, just to ask for more money for one specific payment.
Oh, where's this under your report?
Yep, under director's report and financial report.
Okay, number C. Okay, 8C. Good. All right. Any others? Kate, were you raising your hand or were you just reaching for the sky? Okay, in that case, I'd entertain a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Karen and Kate
I'll
did
second.
that. Good.
I'll take my name off.
Hopefully everybody read the previous minutes of the August 19th regular meeting. Are there any comments or corrections, or if not, I'd like a motion to approve.
So moved.
John moved to approve. I will, Heidi seconded it. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. Correspondence. The only correspondence that I got, I will talk about in my commission chair report. So we move to public comment and Lee.
Lee who?
I just thought Lee was here. Lee Saul. Or maybe it's just Jim. Jim? Is that you? We'll wait. All right, director's report.
So, in addition to my report, I just want to let you know that there's a program happening here in town with the Eric Sloan Museum. Trades Up is happening on October 12th, that Saturday, and they're looking for some volunteers. So if anybody is interested in volunteering, just let me know and I'm happy to send you the link. And if anybody is available, the soccer coach for the school is looking for assistance to help paint the lines this coming Wednesday for a game. He just doesn't have the time this week and asked for me to do it, and I unfortunately cannot assist him, but I wanted to see if anyone on the commission could help, and if nobody can, it's understandable, but he just asked for that reach out. So if anybody is available, just let me know. And that's it for that. Do you want me to roll right into discussion of programs and events?
Yes, please.
Perfect. So I have a few programs. I didn't submit proposals for them since they are non-revenue generating programs. And I just wanted to talk with you guys about them to see if we need to approve them or not. The first set is going to be drop-in programs. There is some outreach from the community on a few different drop-in programs to happen using Team Reach. Team Reach has been a wild success. We've had 27 members join for pickleball, and we've had Andrea today put in 30 new events. throughout the week for pickleball because there's such a desire for it. Labor Day, 9 people showed up on a whim to play pickleball, and they all created the event in Team Reach, and they all connected and came together. So it's been a great way for people to come on out and join all of our programs, especially the adult population in town. So I wanted to propose drop-in tennis, drop-in walking, and drop-in kickball. Wanted to discuss with the commission if that's something we need a motion on, or if that is just something I'm good to go with.
What was this, tennis walk-in?
Walking, so group walking, so people can get together and walk together in Kent Commons or in any of our parks, or if people want to get together and say, let's go walk around the field at Kent Center School Field after the school day is done and we're allowed at 4 o'clock just to walk the perimeter. To really engage the population instead of just hiking, let's add in walking.
You said kickball too?
And kickball was something that was of interest from the community.
I have no problem with any of those. Does anyone?
No.
No.
I don't think so. Do we all have a good, do you monitor like who's using Team Reach and do you know who everybody is and like that?
Yep, I do monitor it. I check in to see who registers for it. Right now for pickleball, 99% of the people on it are Kent residents. I just did double check. There is one that frequents in Kent but doesn't live in Kent. But it's nice that they're able to connect and know that things are going on. I do monitor all conversations. I monitor all postings, all events. If I notice that someone registers for an event or says that we're going to do pickleball on a certain day when there's already something going on, I do cancel it and I do let them know why I'm canceling it. So I do that sort of outreach with it, and it's been pretty successful.
Is there any way to do a, like a legal waiver, as you sign up, like we've done that for other things where you have to sign a waiver? Just so that we're not, it just protects us a little bit more. And that also gives you more information about who's actually signing up. They actually have to give you you know, an address and a, you know, phone number, et cetera, et cetera. It also is then safety wise too, if you're out and something happens on your walk or something happens on the court, somebody has access to an emergency contact. It's there as you register. I don't know if that's a possibility in that system.
Ooh, let me look into that a little bit more. And if
Okay.
it is, I'll implement it immediately. And if
Yeah.
not, I will find a
Like
way
the
to
safety
have that
contact
happen.
type
Yeah.
Information.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be really smart, Heidi. Really, yeah, that's what I was feeling like we have a little bit more information on everybody
Yeah.
who's joining in.
Yeah, I would think that anybody who wants to participate, at least, you know, has to sign in initially, register, sign a waiver. And give us contact information. And then if they come to other drop-in programs, they wouldn't have to resubmit.
Yep.
But you know, word it so that the registration is for any and all park and rec.
Yeah, and if need be, maybe like an initial, like an annual $5 membership with a mail-in something or other, so that you have that documentation of somebody. If the actual app doesn't support it, then we can just do a really, really minimal annual fee so that they can, so that we have that information and that we're covered with a waiver.
What I could also do is for the registration, since it requires a password to join the group, I can put it on MyRec so that when they register on the receipt, they get the passcode. And if I notice that they didn't register online for that drop-in program, I can pick up and I can say, I noticed that this person didn't register, and I can actually, I can reach out to them on Team Reach and request that they submit something, or I get an email address from them so I can send over the waiver to them so I can get it back signed.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So if one way doesn't work, there is another way.
Good.
I mean, should we vote just for fun? I don't know. We don't need to vote, right?
So I recommend a motion to approve drop-in tennis, drop-in walking, and drop-in kickball at no charge for adults 18 plus.
Karen nodded. Is that you're doing that? Karen will nod the Motion in place. Who's gonna second it? Any other nods?
Yes.
The victory. Kate seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So carried. All right, Matt. So now we're on to what?
I just have one more to talk about. It is ski and board, since I've had a request from parents to start getting the ball rolling on this, and I did. And the best part is they're building our portal as we speak. So for Mohawk, we're looking at Wednesdays. We're looking in January and February for those specific dates, starting with January 8th. And it's going to be a reduced rate for not just kids this year, but we're looking at all Kent residents, and we're looking at reduced rates for lift passes, lessons, and we're also looking at rental cost reduction as well for all Kent residents on Wednesdays. No staff is
Awesome.
required to be there. What they have to do is, in the past, what Jared set up, he put something on MyRec for people to go to a specific link to register. What I'm going to do is people have to sign up for it, and they'll get the link emailed to them, and then they can go onto the website and register for it. Lessons would be Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. and that is open to anybody age 6+. So adults can take lessons if they would like as well. I'm really excited that we're expanding this opportunity to just beyond kids, and we're allowing everybody from the community to jump in this year. So parents don't just have to sit in the lodge and hang out. They can jump on the lift and ski with their kids. Since there is a regional discount on a season pass, now there's going to be a Wednesday night discount for everybody.
Fun.
Thank you.
Great.
So I am making a recommendation of a motion to approve the ski and board program at Mohawk Mountain starting on January 8th for 6 Wednesdays, with lessons starting at 5:30 p.m.
So moved.
and open to all community members.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I just have one
Karen.
follow-up question on that. Would it be possible then through, again, your app to, for people to connect together so that they can do carpooling and those kind of things as well?
Yeah,
We can, is that something we can explore so that that gives us a hub of all ways to connect for our recreational programs that way? I know.
yes, I like that. So what I can do is on the registration part, I can add a question asking if people are interested in carpooling or looking to ride share.
Yep.
And then what I can do is I can organize a list of people. I can email everybody and say, if you are still interested, let me know how many people you can carry, and I can create a contact sheet for people who are looking for rides.
Yeah, I was just thinking like that 5:30 time frame for working parents. It's like there might be families that are connecting that haven't connected through other means before.
Yeah,
Or okay, cool,
I could definitely do that. That'd be cool.
awesome.
So I have one other question for you on your report.
Sure.
The sole 5th and 6th grade soccer attendee, are they willing to do stuff with the 4th, 3rd, and 4th?
Yes, they merge with
Okay.
3rd and 4th grade.
All right,
Yep. So that's all set.
good, good.
All right, and that's it from item A. You want me to roll into item B?
Yep.
Cool. So the Kent Land Trust reached out to me to ask if we could be sponsors of their Take Back the Hike program. This program is on Saturday, October 19th. What they're asking for is just to utilize our logo on the promotional materials. They're not asking for us to be present or to donate any money or any time. They're just asking to utilize our town logo or our department logo on their promotion and say that we are supporting and sponsoring this event.
Any comments?
Yeah, there's a lot of branches to that Project Sage, and unfortunately, I cannot support that Project Sage for one of the branches that it has.
Anyone else? Do you want to give us any further information or not?
Not at this time.
Okay,
What kind of a program is it? Sorry, Matt.
It's a hiking program. It's a hike to raise awareness about domestic violence in Northwest Connecticut. And they're not asking for any financial support. They're not asking for any, over time, maybe sharing this document on or sharing their flyer on Facebook, but they're just asking to put our logo on it as well. In addition to, Project Sage and the Kent Land Trust. And it's their second annual Take Back the Hike. To me, it just the sponsorship seems, if we were sponsoring something, we'd be financially contributing or contributing time or some sort of resource. To me, it just seems that they're asking for us to promote. And they're not asking for us to be there. So I'm not sure if sponsorship is necessarily the level in which I would call this, what they're asking. They're just asking for us to put our logo on it. So I just want to leave it to the commission to discuss it, and then we can make a decision if we want to let Kent Land Trust know that they can utilize our logo on this flyer.
John,
Sorry?
I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I'm just closing the door for the siren.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Just basically, if you look into every branch of that Project Sage, some of them are very hard to undertake. So it's just, I feel, with the school in that, I don't feel that I could support the Project Sage through the Park and Rec.
Um, I do get the sense that it's not a universally accepted program in our town. I don't think everyone would love to support fighting domestic violence, but it's the Project Sage that doesn't have universal support in our town. So it makes it a little tricky.
Yes, it does. It does.
So what is the benefit for us to do this then? This isn't our program. By us sponsoring it or putting our name behind it or supporting it, where does that encourage our programming and encourage us to, I don't know where, if it's I think it's become I think it's a political, I think it's become a political battleground type arguments that I have heard the bits and pieces as well, whether, and I don't know, if they've already got it lined up, ready to go. It's their second annual. I don't know where us adding our name to it is gonna bring that many more people for a hike, or is it gonna bring that much more awareness to this? No, I don't know. I don't know what the discussion was behind it. That's why they asked you to bring it to us.
I think there was just the discussion of asking if we could assist in promotion. So
Right.
that's all that was brought to me. Was a very quick conversation and asking if we would promote it and if they could utilize our logo. I said I would bring it to the commission level for a conversation instead of making that decision independently. I felt that knowing that there is a bit of political discussion and heightened sense behind this, I wanted to bring it to the commission to start the conversation instead of making that decision
I
executively.
think the Kent Land Trust has a bigger outreach than we do. So, I think by us promoting anything that they're promoting, that they've already reached all the population that we would reach. I don't know if they're gonna gain any bodies by us promoting something, but I could be very wrong.
Well, I look at it slightly differently. Because if you look at their poster about the hike, it's a hike. It's things that we do. It's recreation. And it is not, it has nothing to do with some of the programs that they're doing in schools. It has to do with awareness about domestic violence, which is what women's support was all about and is still a major part of Project Sage in the Northwest corner. And I think that that's something that we should back. It's not, we're not putting our name to something that would be a program in the school where a lot of people are, you know, up in arms about that. But I think we should support awareness about domestic violence. And that's the focus of this. It's not about some of the other programs. So I would really have no issue at all.
It's still under the banner of Project Sage, Rufus. So I can't,
Project Sage, John, is
I know what it stands for, but I mean,
it's supporting
yes, I know that.
women who have been abused, and that's what it's all about.
That part of it,
That's that part of it. Then that's what this particular hike
no.
is about. It's not about an inclusive hike to raise awareness about our programs in the schools or anything else. It's about raising awareness about domestic violence in the Northwest corner.
I'm still,
It's pretty clear.
yeah, but I'm still against it because of the word Project Sage and the
I know.
and the other branches that it has. So yeah, I mean, I'm not against domestic violence. I mean, I know a lot of people that have gone through that, so I know what's the deal with that. But when you match it up with the other projects that they've got going, it's tough to divide that. But I still feel that I can't support this, unfortunately.
All right. But I don't feel that, I think that's it's unfortunate, but you know, it's pretty clear what this is about, and that has nothing to do with a different part of what this program does.
Okay,
And you know,
let's take a vote.
so we need a motion. Or anybody else want to say anything? Well, I'll make a motion that we do support the hike, which shows support for awareness of domestic violence in the Northwest corner.
I'll second the vote.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
I abstain.
I abstain.
So 2-1 with 2 abstentions. Under Robert's rules, is that enough? Anyone know?
Oh, I can Google it.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm usually in a much larger group for Robert's rules.
Right.
Well, that was the vote, so we'll look into it as to whether,
Move on.
So an abstention is, it just means that there was no vote casted. So it is a theoretical 2 yes, 1 no.
I'm sorry, Matt, what was,
So the way that Robert's rules has it, unless our bylaws state differently, abstentions just cast as a non-vote. So the number collected for yes and no, it reflects the
Oh.
movement of the motion.
so the 2-1 makes it a passing vote.
By definition, yes.
Okay. All right.
That also gives you the 2/3 vote at the same time.
What?
Yeah,
It also gives you the 2/3 vote at the same time.
gives you more than 50% for a motion.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
See,
All right, item C, contributory payment. Wanda Houston reached out. She submitted a request for $600 for her concert. We were paying $500 for the concert. The reason why she requested 600 was for sound, so she could pay her sound person. So I am coming to the commission to request an extra $100 to pay Wanda Houston for the concert. The concert was well attended. It was the most by far. We've had over 100 people, and I am asking for a motion to approve an additional $100 to pay Wanda Houston for her concert,
sound man,
total $600.
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. So do people donate?
People do donate. They donate money to social services, so they donate food and money at the entrance of the concert.
Okay. So, but it's like a pass through to something else.
Yep.
All right.
And just on that quick topic, I do want to say that having the concerts in August and September has proven well for weather. We've only had to cancel one, so we are on number 5 this week, and it makes me so happy to know we have made it so far by just canceling one concert at the beginning of August. So, and a lot of people are liking that we're having them now because other towns and organizations have subsided their concert series towards the end of the summer, so it gives people an opportunity to come to ours. And we've added in a little bit of fun with having a picnic competition. So we've had folks they've literally brought coffee tables and blankets and lights and you name it. They're eating food and having a great time. And we choose the best one and we announce it at the end. So I have to say that adding that little factor in and people come to hang out and enjoy, all from infants all the way to anybody of any age. It's just amazing to see. So I'm very happy with the way our concert series are going this season. And I really like that we moved it back into late summer, early fall. So it's a very positive note with that.
Good, good.
You're doing good, Rufus, you're doing good, buddy.
So we're moving right along. Matt, you're done.
I am all set. So thank you
Okay.
all for,
So
Yeah.
I just had a couple things I wanted to talk about. And the first one has to do with, as I mentioned, little correspondence. Heidi had gotten in touch with me about putting time limits on individual items on the agenda, so that the meetings would move along. And that would give us a general idea of, about how long a meeting might be. I don't want to limit conversation, but I think, there's certain things, it's like, the expectation would be that all the commissioners get Matt's agenda ahead of time and read the minutes ahead of time. There's no delay. There's no, read Matt's report ahead of time, so that if there are any questions, they're very quick. And so I wanted to bring that up and put it out to you guys and see what you feel. And I'd like to actually turn the floor over to Heidi a little bit and let her explain, because she has had experience with this.
Yeah, I just find that we need to be more respectful of all of our time, especially Matt's. We didn't leave here until I don't know what time he left here. I left here in the office at 9:30 the other night. And I think we can do our business more quickly. Each of us has a finite amount of time to dedicate to this commission with other activities in our lives. And I think we can just be a little bit more efficient with our time. And at the end of each action item, we can simply vote to postpone the discussion until next week if we're still on a fact-finding mission, and say that we need these 3 things researched, et cetera, and have an action plan on what happens during the month to have that time. If discussion is extremely valid, then the commissioner or the director can ask for an extension of discussion time in there. But I think we can just be extremely more efficient with our time. And then we can all stay present. At the end of the meetings, the 2 meetings that I've attended, it's kind of gone black. People have other commitments. They've got to get their kids to bed. And I would just like us to be a more efficient machine, so that, and then take time in between. If there was discussion about a dog park, when it comes up with a dog park, then I did the research. I figured out how much the fencing would cost, et cetera, et cetera. We can find these facts out in between instead of just rehashing it here when we don't have those answers. So again, to put a timestamp on it, as we're going through tonight's meeting, it's going really well. I've been keeping track of the time. Matt can star items that he thinks he might need more time with. It also gives the community an opportunity to know when to connect with us. If the discussion is still going on at 9 o'clock at night, and a community member thought they missed it at 7:30, that's not fair to them either. And the whole point of these being on Zooms is to have everybody connected. So yes, I would like a basic outline on, this item should take 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Matt can put it on there. If we need to adjust it, we adjust it during that very beginning discussion of approval of the minutes. And if you know that there's something else that you're going to have a little bit more discussion time on, then at that point you can say, can we have 7 minutes on this item instead of 4? Worth a try. I think we can all respect each other's time a little bit more that way. So that was my goal.
Good.
I think it's great.
Who's going to be the timekeeper?
You have an assigned timekeeper at the beginning of each meeting, whoever that may be. More likely, if it's an alternate, that would probably be a good person. They're not the voting member at that time, or any one of us. If I'm here with Matt, it's really easy because I don't have to pay as much attention since he's paying attention for me. But I've been doing it so far tonight. We've got timestamps along there, so that gives them an idea of what this meeting's been very efficient this evening. And we have discussed important things. And so we can see the timestamp in there. So at the end of that, like right now, you want to cut me off, So we say, can we move a motion at this point? Or can we move to postpone discussion until next week? So that
Table it,
everybody
yeah.
sees those kind of things.
Yeah,
So my discussion's over, my presentation's over.
yeah.
Sorry, Kate, I interrupted you.
No, that makes sense. I was sorry, I was talking over you. No, that makes sense. Like you say, it's clearly we need to table this. Let's move on. Yeah.
Move on,
More
exactly.
discussion. More
With
discussion.
Specific action items, or we're done talking about it altogether.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay, seems like we should try it.
so with that, Rufus, I would ask that Matt puts down the actual, time on the agenda. And for us to format our first meeting at try to hit an hour. And, if we go over 15 minutes, that's fine, but we should be able to do this business in an hour and 15 minutes.
Right. No, I agree.
So curious, how long did it take us to discuss the hike just then?
So, let's see, hike, that was 13 minutes, and that was a lot of silence amongst each other. So, but actually, all of Matt's the director's report, all of the discussion that we had with Matt went for 16 minutes. So that was everything that he had was 16
Yeah.
minutes. So giving him 20 minutes to do it all, I think we're in good shape there.
Yep.
Well, let's, Matt, you willing to try this? And I agree that, like I said, I don't want people to feel like they can't have time to get their opinion out. But at the same time, I think I agree, Heidi, we need to be cognizant of respecting everybody's time. So be quick and get to the point. And we'll go from there. So with the goal of trying to schedule our meetings to last an hour or, or less, we should try to implement that. And then whoever becomes the timekeeper, I don't know whether you want a little bell or
You just call time. Let's say-
air horn.
Yeah, it's been 8 minutes or whatever.
Right.
And I think it's on us. You're correct that we do a little bit more on our part before meetings, because that will help.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Second item I had was
We need to vote on that, Rufus, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, do we need to vote on that we're moving forward with a timekeeping and a calendar, timestamp?
I don't think we necessarily need to vote on that. It's
I don't
just
think we need to vote. It's just an agreement amongst
an
us.
agreement that we're gonna try this procedure.
And I'll volunteer as timekeeper for the next meeting so that when we're here together, we can,
All right. Sounds good.
great.
So the second thing is,
That took 10 minutes.
that took 10 minutes. Hopefully this second part won't take so long, but, I've had some conversations with Matt and I think also the fact that like it's outlined in his report about how commission members are being helpful and participating and volunteering in different things. We have to be cognizant that we've hired a director whose job it is to deal with our budgets and whatnot. And so we need to respect the process so that we allow him the independence of being able to know ahead of time when we're doing things. He should, so we're not, I don't want you guys to think that we shouldn't be doing stuff and volunteering, but the process should be that it goes to Matt first so that he knows what's happening. And that would also apply to if you think you need supplies for anything that you're doing, he needs to know about it first. He may have those supplies already in hand for a different project, and there's no need to repurchase them or things like that. And we need to, Matt's the one who needs to make the decisions on what we're buying, what our supply needs are, and also he needs to be aware of who's doing what work, when, and we're not gonna, I think it's great that we have a commission that is volunteering a lot of things. But it needs to go to Matt first, that this is what I'm doing, or this is what I need, and let Matt do any purchasing or getting those supplies to you. Okay. Because that's what we hired him to do, and that's what we need to remember, that our job is not to complicate that. We need to support them. Any questions about that? So
Understood.
what was that?
I said, understood.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree that that's very clearly stated and hopefully everybody can follow that.
Yeah.
It's important that we all follow it.
Yeah. So, and part of it is like, don't hesitate to ask for Matt's help in something, or part of it is also just, we don't want somebody to go off and somebody's doing something out trying to clear out brush behind the tennis courts or something, and they step on a really nasty hornet's nest, and you're by yourself. That may put you in a really bad position. So, I think Matt would feel more comfortable if he knew what people were doing, where and when, just so that there's less danger if something, we all have good intentions, but sometimes things go wrong. We want to avoid those. Okay? That's it for me. That was my little. How long did I take, Heidi?
We're up to 7:46, so we're still on track.
Good. Okay, back to the agenda. I think the dog park's coming up here, right?
Yep.
So for dog park, Heidi did some research on fencing prices, and I am going to turn it over to Heidi in just a moment. But thank you, Heidi, for doing the research on this. So Heidi found that about 20% of households in Kent have dogs. That's a very decent number for the town. And then there are an average of 350 dogs in the town.
Licensed dogs. I went down to ask Darlene. There's 300 on average 300 to 350 dogs that are licensed in the town.
Perfect. Thank you. So the fencing, from what Heidi found, would cost about $16,000. We need a half-acre minimum with the double gate, so we can have a small dog pen and a larger dog pen with the double gate for access. And then we would need, it would be about, from the person that she spoke with, about $2,000 extra to add an extra 100 feet. And then we would definitely need to have upkeep with it when it comes to trash removal. We would need the baggies for dog poop. And we would also need to plow around it so that people can get into it and be conscientious of that. And then we would also need to be mindful of benches and then having any sort of enrichment for the dogs as well. I am going to turn it over to Heidi for any other comments on that. But again, Heidi, thank you for doing the research on this. This was very helpful, especially when it comes to design and how big it should be, and then anything with information on that. And then also, before, just quick, I did have a chance to speak with Lee Soul. Unfortunately, she couldn't attend tonight. Lee, are you on, or is that Jim that's on? I know Lee said she wouldn't be able to join, but she might. Go ahead. Jim.
Jim or Lee? Either one of you?
Well, the assumption with the actual construction of the dog park, those were the bare minimums. And as I started doing the research on what you would need, you've got ADA regulations, so you have to have a driveway access up to a facility. You've got a plow up there. The fencing was based on having the site completely cleared and free of any any trees, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of a big job, and it needs to be accessible, is the one of my takeaways that I got. So, benches and parking and signage and all of that goes along with it. So you really would have, that was just based on a flat space. So it's a kind of a big number. And for me personally, the 300, I mean, I have two big German Shepherds, and I never take them to dog parks because there's always an aggressive dog at any dog park that I've ever gone to in my entire life. So I'm not a dog park person. So I would imagine that the majority of the dogs in our community already have a few acres of their own, because that's the way we live. So I don't know how many dogs on that 300 list don't have a yard of their own. I know some people enjoy it for socialization, but I don't really, my personal feeling is it seemed like it was a really, really big task, construction wise, when we have other tasks that we're looking at, like having a swimming facility or a splash pad or those kind of things. I don't see it as being it seemed to be a big number to work with when we already have some big numbers that we're trying to fit into other places. So if there was any other questions you had about the actual structure of the dog park, it's pretty straightforward. It's a fencing on a flat place, but it seemed like it could be very expensive.
Where is the proposal geographically at this point? Do we have a geographic location? We don't.
So in the last meeting, I put into the meeting documents some prospective locations. It could be Emery Park, it could be at Kent Commons in the corner where the brush is at the moment, that is completely treed in. But we don't have a specific location for the dog park. The only location I know that we did discuss, and there was some controversy over, was the Kent Center School fields because of the permanent structure, and then access, because access would be restricted, and it being close to a school and having kids around just in case someone did go in. I also just want to throw in there too, on the same topic as I'm speaking for now, just to keep in mind that we are, if we do facilitate the dog park, people, if their dog does bite somebody or another dog, they are still liable for that situation. And then it would be the calls would have to go to animal control, so we'd have to keep that in mind as well. So we'd want to have some information on animal control and how to reach them, and then we cannot restrict it to just Kent residents. with recreation laws in the state of Connecticut, since it is a municipally owned entity, we would have to allow access to everybody. We can implement charges and we can implement fee collection so that there'd be a larger fee for somebody to attend that might not be a resident of the town, but we cannot restrict it to just Kent residents, since it is a piece of property or on a piece of property in a facility in an entity.
Well, my question is how many people are actually interested in this? I understand
That's
how
what I
many
was gonna
dogs.
say. Yeah,
I mean, I understand how many dogs are licensed in the town of Kent. That's a good data point, but how many people want this? You know, and the other question I have is how much is it going to be a drain on your time, Matt? Because I don't think it's just going to operate without any personnel, or it just doesn't seem logical that it can.
Well, I mean,
The
I
feeling
think,
is that if a group in the community really wants it, they can get together, they can come up with a plan. They can make a proposal as to where they would like it. If it happens to be on one of the parks, they can bring the proposal to us. But I don't think it should be us promoting it right now, because again, Lynn, I haven't heard, one person came in, but I don't think it's getting a big enough of our demographics. I guess is that we're gonna invest a lot, it should be the whole demographics.
I
Okay,
agree.
hi, yeah,
I
sorry.
agree.
There she is. Go ahead.
No, my first time on Zoom and it's not unmuted,
This is Jim Soul joining in.
kind of. Sorry.
yeah, that's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. I'm sorry, Jim. It's echoing.
He can't be on Zoom and on audio at the same time. He's got to pick one or the other.
He, on this, I thought, figured the calling from a landline.
Oh, he can't.
Can you
He's
hear
got,
now, Jim?
He's
Oh,
got to disconnect from
He
Zoom.
disconnected.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just assumed they would call from a different line on a computer.
What I can ask is a formal written correspondence from Lee, and I can present it to the commission.
That makes sense.
Just as a support from, or any sort of information from Lee, that would be fantastic. And thank you, Jim, for joining. It's just Jim tonight.
I agree with Heidi. I think if there's a group of people that are in support of this, then they should get together and start talking about it and come up with a plan. I'm totally in support of what you said, Heidi. We got a lot of irons in the fire, and if there's a lot of people that want to do this, then they should start talking.
Okay, I move that we table this until the community comes forward with proposals for more concerns.
I concur.
so we'll table the discussion, but whoever has already contacted the commission should be notified that the ball really, I think the majority feeling is that they've got to come up with the plan in more detail for us to even consider it. So
There was one person that logged
Well,
in this week.
table it at this time.
I'll reach out to them. Thank you all.
Is that good?
Perfect.
All right. So back to our agenda. New business.
I have no new business to present to the commission.
Anybody have any potential ideas? No? Okay. So the subcommittee reports, the bylaws subcommittee report. Matt had come to me because he didn't think that all the subcommittee members had gotten back to sort of finalize the changes that the committee had made at their last meeting, and while waiting for that, the deadline sort of slipped us, and we wouldn't have been able to get the final bylaws report to the committee, what is it, 7 days in advance of the meeting. So we have two options. We could either have a special meeting to deal with it, or at our next regular meeting, we can vote on the bylaws changes that the subcommittee worked hard on. Basically, my understanding, Lynn, is it's been finalized, but not every member of the committee had gotten back to either okay it or not. So the work's done.
Right, we actually voted on it to move it forward. And then I think we asked to make sure that to be able to see it before it went to the full commission.
And I
Right.
thought it was if we had any problems, we'd speak up, but if we didn't, we were fine. Sorry if I didn't get
No,
it.
it's okay. I
Yeah.
was waiting for everyone to get back to just say the document looked good so that we could.
Oh,
proceed.
okay.
Yeah,
Then
but
I'm so, I didn't realize I needed to do that. I'm so sorry.
No,
Okay.
it's okay. No worries.
So
And
I
think
told
this time
Matt
we
that,
can spend it.
you know,
we
one
can
more
spend
month
dedicated
won't
time
make
on
a
it.
difference in my
Okay.
mind, but
Yeah.
we've basically done the work.
Okay.
So we'll, if you want a special meeting, we could try to fit it in, or we just vote on it at our next regular meeting.
We can vote on it on the next regular meeting. I'll
Should-
email you, Matt.
Thank you.
Should we tell people what we did? So they know whether or not it might be controversial and warrant a special meeting?
We could, why don't we, can we give everybody a draft?
Yeah, I mean, but I just
Well-
wanted to highlight it verbally right now, really quick.
Okay,
It'll take a while though.
No, I'll go really quick.
All right.
So some of the big things was, and I'll try to go through it quickly so I'm not taking too much time, but the subcommittee agreed to keep the third selectman as a member. The subcommittee is proposing not to have the Park and Recreation Director as a member, as a member at all. So that was something we had talked about, whether or not he should be a non-voting member or a member. I think you guys know we changed a bunch of stuff about the oh, and I should say the third selectman would be a non-voting ex officio member with this draft. We also talked about changing adding a vice chairman in addition to having a chairman. Those will be officers, but there is the ability for the commission to add additional officers. But the vice chairman would execute the chairman's duties in his or her absence. We streamlined the alternate members of the commission, meaning that just operationally how they would be elevated at a meeting instead of, it was pretty wordy before. And there's big changes in terms of the expenditures, and we sort of revised how when you get the document, if you take a thorough look at how the programs and expenditures section is spelled out. We're giving more authority to the director in terms of how much money the director can spend before he or she has to come to the commission. And also spelling out that we're going to follow the town's bid policy. But it doesn't actually, it refers to the town's bid policy. It doesn't have numbers in there, but less than $1,000, Park and Rec director can make purchases and then report back to the commission. Greater than or equal to $3,000. The director has to get 3 quotes and then can make purchases with quotes kept as records for purchases and support from the commission. So that's something you want to take a look at. Those, I think, are the big things. And then, so yeah, take a look at it when we get the document out to everybody. Anything I left off, Matt?
No, that was good.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you. So is next Emery Park Subcommittee?
Yeah, Matt, can I go first?
I think Rufus, hang on. Rufus, you're muted. Do you want me to unmute you? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
We can't hear you, Rufus.
Okay, sorry. So the first item is the discussion and possible action on camping policies.
I'm actually gonna yield my time to John for a moment because he did want to just go first on a quick thing with Emery Park, and then I will be happy to jump right on to the discussion and possible action on camping policies.
Go ahead, John.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Listen, I just wanted to say that government moves really, 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 really slow, unfortunately. But I wanted to tell you that Matt and I are working really hard. It may not seem like it, but we are, and trying to get a hold of people and talk to them and see what their views are and how to go about it. It takes a lot of time. I would never have thought that, but it does. There's other things that involved. I mean, as far as it seems like Matt has got so much going on at one time that he can't help out and help us with the pool or anything like that. Not at all times, but sometimes. And it's just, I wish that we had somebody that could volunteer from the commission to put in at least 5 hours to help him out on a weekly basis to get all this stuff done, so that we can spend more time to work on the project and get it done in a faster motion. The other thing too is we're talking about possibly, because it's only $150,000, I believe that's what the total was. It's going to cost more than $350,000. So we were talking about having it done through a fundraiser. So I would have to get involved with that. Matt can't. So go ahead, Matt, take it from there.
Yeah. So just to jump in, thank you, John. And to jump in on that 5 hours, I put in the director's report that I'm going to be looking for someone to come in to assist with social media and communication. So that would be the big piece. That would be a great bit of assistance to me to allow for the free up of 5 hours, unless there is someone from the commission that is interested in taking on that role in a volunteer capacity or assisting me in another way. So it helps delegate some duties that I have and to assist the department and the continued success of the department and the commission. So to piggyback on that with John, the fundraiser, John is interested in hosting a fundraiser to support the development of the Emery Park pool. And I cannot, since I am a paid staff member of the town, I cannot be involved in the fundraiser since I'd be being paid to be in attendance at the fundraiser. It's a bit of a conflict of interest. So to jump in now on camping policies quick, I did a little more research. We don't necessarily need that emergency phone. We just need a location that shows that there is service at that location. So a sign that would say you can call here. Bear boxes are running between $1,000 to $1,500. Right now it's very limited in our use of camping. So the investment of purchasing the bear box for camping would be exclusively limited to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Scouts, and any sort of search and rescue team or any other nonprofit or organized entity that would come to camp. And that could be in range of 1 use per year to 52 uses per year. So maybe at this time, the bear box might not be of our interest. However, providing the best policy possible for people to protect themselves and not put themselves in harm's way of having a bear come into their tent and eat all their food while they're sleeping or harm them. So putting their food somewhere else, not hanging in a tree necessarily, but putting it in a bear container further away from their campsite somewhere else would be sufficient. So at this time, I feel that we are in a position to allow camping with reservations sent to me by the entities that would be interested in camping. Maybe if the commission does not feel that we're in a position to do that, I think maybe we pilot it and I can reach out to the scouts to see if they're interested in giving it a try. I know that they've camped in the past there, and I'm curious to see how it comes to play and what they do. And maybe if they camp out now, since the park is a little more utilized than it has been in the past few years, they can give us their feedback, and then it can benefit us on the commission level. So I would ask the commission to consider a motion to authorize and encourage the Park and Recreation Director to reach out to the Scouts group in town to see if they have interest in camping at Emery Park within the next 6 months, and provide us feedback on their camping experience to enhance and initiate our policies for camping.
Is there anywhere in town that sells bear containers?
I
No.
don't think so, not to my knowledge, no.
Not to the size that you would need.
Yeah, or anything to help with,
I can check at Bullsbridge Inn. I know that a lot of Appalachian Trail folks stop there to grab lighter fluid for their solo stoves and their portable stoves and
Mhm.
some other gear as well, but I'm not sure if they sell any sort of the bear containers, the jug shaped ones. I have one personally that I use when I go
Yeah,
camping.
campers have their
So,
own personal ones, but
Yeah,
not to something that a group could utilize.
the best example of one would be if you go to the Bulls Bridge trailhead.
I'm
for
not a
camping
camper,
trip.
so I know
So-
nothing about what I'm
No,
talking
that's okay.
about.
So the bear container that I'm thinking of, it is, if you're at KCS and you see that giant white container right by the field, by the parking lot,
Yeah.
that is what it pretty much looks like. Or if you're inclined to go to the Bulls Bridge trailhead, and head south on the Appalachian Trail, it's right at the trailhead sign. It's this giant blue container, and
Mhm.
it latches shut.
Dumpster
Yeah.
that you can lock up.
Yeah, no, the $1,000, I was picturing a large container, but I was
Big.
thinking if our best practices are suggesting that you bring a certain piece of equipment, I was just wondering if there was an opportunity in town for, a camper to purchase said equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I heard that the Bullsbridge store is actually closing, so I'm not sure they're gonna be stocking up on new things.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that is
The
such
convenience
a
Yeah,
staple
so I
for
think
hikers.
the $1,000, what he was looking at is it more of a permanent setting where you would actually cement
Right.
it into, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
instead of it
what I
being an
under- yeah.
individual one that you would throw up over a, and you could put an entire cooler inside to really make it
Yeah,
that way. And what's nice too is that can also be the actual space where this is where your phone service is. And these are your camping rules, and you can make it an entire information center along with that bear box.
mhm.
Yeah, they are expensive, but yeah.
And they last, so
But
it'd be an
I
investment for
I
a
went
decent
with
amount of
research
time.
and I couldn't find anything that would be worth the investment that was less than that.
Mhm, mhm.
I thought we already agreed to have Matt go purchase one.
we didn't actually, we
Everything
talked a
fell
lot
apart.
about it, but we
We
didn't
tabled it,
actually, yeah, we
yeah.
tabled
Yeah,
Oh,
it.
we
tabled
tabled it.
We needed information about the phone and
That's good information about the phone that we don't have to have that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like what you're suggesting, Matt, of having a pilot and just invite the Boy Scouts to do it and give us feedback. I mean, I think they're the most logical group that would actually use the park currently.
Do we have to limit it to just the Boy Scouts here in town, or can he reach out to other neighboring Boy Scouts as well?
Well, I think we should start with our own troop.
But that might only give us one opportunity in the next 6 months. I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
often to do it.
But I mean, that would be a good, at least trial.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if it comes to push comes to shove, I am more than willing to try camping at Emery Park. I if it has to come to the park and rec director providing personal experience, I'm more than willing to try it out. But I think
Yeah.
it'd be great to have another entity with a group of people try it out themselves.
I agree. I agree. I'm in South Kent. It's gotten to the point now where when I see a bear, it's not even a big deal anymore for me to see a bear. And it used to be a big deal, and I just feel like I would be, I mean, I think it's something that we shouldn't be complacent about. And it's a big purchase, but yeah, I like the idea of the pilot program, and I like that. And I'm pro bear box.
I have reservations on the bear box just because it is a huge expense. And I'm nervous that we're going to make a big expense and not see a lot of groups come
Yes,
through and use
I
it.
agree. I agree.
That's my only concern.
No, Lynn, that's a
Um,
fair point. Fair
yeah.
point.
So let's go ahead with Matt trying to get,
Wait, what, Heidi?
Sorry.
Were you talking?
I'd like to make a motion that Matt moves forward with inviting, and I don't want to just limit it to the scouts, but any group in Kent. There might be another group that we're not aware of that does camping together, to give us feedback as well. And then get back to us with what their concerns are, and we can further, if the scouts are going to make it a biennial event, then we know that we may need to make that investment sooner rather than later. We don't need to make it before their first journey. They can put things in
Okay.
their cars and be safe that way if need be.
is there a second?
Second.
Quick discussion points. The scouts have camped at Emery Park in the past. It's just been of recent that they were informed that they could not because of liability reasons, and that is incorrect. They are covered from our end. It was to their understanding that they were not covered from our end, but they are. And just for public record on that note. And then just one quick request that an amendment made to the motion that they provide their own protection from bears in the capacity of a bear canister for their food. Portable,
or remove food
or
from
remove
site.
food from site.
Because if it's a scout group, they can bring breakfast over in the morning. They can
Yeah.
bring dinner at night. They can take it away. They can bring it back since they're right here in town.
Yeah.
So to have no food on site, or it's contained in their own bear box.
Is it bad practice to actually put food in your car nowadays? Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, they
It
break
is,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they break into
Okay.
the cars. Bears will break into your car.
They like to break in and do things.
I don't want to.
Well, there's a nice little farm across the street that they might prefer anyway.
I don't want to call Troopel and tell them that there's a family of bears that stole the car that was in the upper lot at Emery. That's not a call I want to make Sunday at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I think they might think I'm crazy. So.
Okay, so we have an amended motion, so to start the pilot program with the caveat that they need to provide some bear protection of their own.
And it was moved by Heidi, seconded by
Kate,
Kate.
Me.
Thank you.
you good with the amendment, Kate?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? And that brings us, is there anything else from the Emery Park Subcommittee?
Just that I took down all the equipment on the pool. We stashed it away. So we're all set to go for any construction that comes up in the near future.
Very
Don, can
good.
you Ask what type of a fundraiser you're looking to do?
And I'm confused what is the fundraising goal? I'm not even sure what the plan is. So I think there needs to be more detail before having a fundraiser.
Well, yeah, we're waiting for a diagram. We're waiting for a diagram and also pricing that they gave us for redoing the pools.
But we haven't even voted on anything of what the plan should be for the park.
Yeah, but I'm gonna, as soon as I get it, I will show it to you and then we can discuss it then.
Okay.
No, we're not we're not agreeing to doing a fundraiser tonight, but
No.
we're gonna entertain the idea that once we have a plan, that one of the ways we can supplement whatever's in the budget will be via a fundraiser.
Exactly.
And at that point, we might probably would have to have a fundraising committee simply to oversee that and come up with the goals and whatnot.
Bill
I'm-
Beck to help out as well, so.
I'm not clear on how a town committee does fundraising, because I have not seen that done in recent decades. So I've seen donations be made to the town, but I have never seen a fundraiser done by a town commission.
Well, I don't
So-
think we would actually necessarily do it. I think it has to be independent of us.
Ah, that's what I was hoping to hear. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so.
so it would be
but
an entity that would be doing this.
it would be an entity, but we would have to sort of set the parameters and then look for a group that would be willing to do it, because I don't believe that the commission itself can get involved in a fundraiser, because that muddies the waters of what we're doing as a town department.
You just set up a separate entity.
Yeah,
personal entity, and that money goes to that, and then the,
But
I
then you get into the problem of, you know, people like to make donations when they're tax deductible,
right.
and yeah,
Yeah, well, this
It-
clearly. we
It
need
would
more
be tax
information.
deductible if it were to be a donation. to us.
Kind of thing.
Right.
at this
but
time.
donations to the town, are they tax deductible?
From when I spoke to Barbara, yes, that they are tax deductible.
Wow, I do not remember her saying it that way. Okay.
so anyhow, we'll look into that more. I think it's
Very interesting
idea.
idea, though.
It
Yeah.
is an interesting idea.
because
Very.
it may cut through the bureaucratic
Exactly.
Yeah.
capital plan slodge.
Yeah,
No, slodge isn't really a word, but kind of describes the process, and we may not want to wait for 4 or 5 years to get.
yeah, and it'll kickstart, it's kickstarted by the people that want it, you know,
Yeah.
it's a good idea.
Okay, thank you very much, John, for doing what you do at
Well, it's not,
Emory.
it's a group effort, so it's always been a group effort for me.
So. All right, and unless Jim wants to say goodnight to us, I don't see any other public comment, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:20.
Wait, oh my gosh, record.
Yeah, well, 3 minutes over the hour and 15 limit that he wanted.
Heidi, you get that number?
8:20.
8:20.
And Jim did say good night under public comment. Thank you, Jim.
Good night, everybody.
Hi.
Good night, everyone.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you very much.
Good night.